Lock in with my coffee. Coffee lock-in. Actually, that's not even a coffee. That's a chai. E3. Don't know if that was a misclick. I will take a... We'll play something different. So E3, I'm going to play D5. No reason in particular other than if they make a move that doesn't really control the center fully, I will take more of the center. So this is probably already a teensy bit better for black, or not better, but it probably is not as good of an evaluation for white had they started with like E4. But these are still hard to play against sometimes, these things. It really fell, bro, didn't it, Mr. Level? That's true, bro. It really fell. Elo's fell off since the last stream. I could also continue with C5. Probably I'm going to play slow. I'm sorry, not slow. I'm going to play simple. I'm actually just going to either bishop f5. I want to get the pieces out. I could go knight c6. I don't see any reason with not to. Knight c6, bishop b5, bishop d7, not a problem. The only reason I don't really like knight c6 right now is because it prevents me from playing c5, which I just personally like to play a lot, even though I don't know if it's right in this structure. But you know what? For simplicity's sake, I am just going to play knight c6. They castle. I have the option to control the center, and I will indeed do so. So I'm going to play e5. This is not capturable because of my knight. They are going to play something strange. Okay, I am not going to do anything. So people might sometimes suddenly see a knight has jumped to the side of the board and they say, ooh, a knight, let me attack it. Let's not do that, and let's be distinguished young gentlemen and gentlewomen, I don't know. Let's just continue to develop and say, I don't know what the heck you're doing, so I'm just going to develop my pieces and angle it toward your king. I see a beautiful diagonal that is uncontrolled, I will take it. Same thing, maybe not the best move. I am going to bring my bishop to the center. And you know what? For argument's sake, well, first of all, let me just prevent this, because I have a feeling they want to get rid of my dark side bishop, but you know what? Maybe I don't care. Maybe I will allow them to do this if they want to. And I'm just going to go queen e7, because I don't see that the knight can jump there. So let's do this. All right. This does enable this, unfortunately. So I might actually push. This is what I was going to do originally, but then this can jump there. I was going to cast along for an example for coup, but I'm not sure if it's what I want to do. However, I am actually going to cast along, even though I don't think it's correct. I'm going to cast along shortly just for the sake of the example here. I might start with e5, sorry, d4, sorry. d4, knight b5, I assume. I will probably go g6 just to take away this square, and then I will work it out. But I might cast along even though I don't know if it's right in this situation, just so I can show why you might cast along in a position like this. It will be wrong of them, I think, to take this. So I will go here. I just want to see if they're going to take it. And maybe it's wrong, maybe it's not. But the reason I think maybe it's not correct, yeah, okay, is because this bishop is not currently doing anything. But actually after f4 takes, anyway, maybe it's not ideal. However, I am going to, for the sake of the example, start attacking the king. I'm going to jump. I'm actually not going to castle yet, by the way. I'm going to go here. And I may cast along. So this is one of those positions where I'm like, I don't know if I want to cast along. Maybe I do. Now I don't think I will cast along, but they did blunder. So it's probably all gravy. I can simply take this. Or I can make an attack first. I could probably go like this. Then after knight f5, bishop f5 takes. And then, I don't know, we're kind of chilling, I guess. I could then take. They might go like this and try to attack this way, but then I just simply take. So many things to do here, honestly. I mean, this is a free pawn, don't get me wrong. The question is, after bishop b4, knight c4, would I then take with the bishop? Probably not. Bishop b4, knight c4, b5. They can't jump there because I would just take it right there. Yeah, I mean, this doesn't feel very good for them. This is actually not great for them, I think. So I might just take it because it's a free pawn. And you know what? I'm going to take it. Let's just play slowly and safely, and I'm going to take away any counterplay. I will go there, and they kind of have to do something about this knight, or they're just losing it. They blunder the knight, unfortunately. So I see pawn attacking my pawn and my bishop. I will not freak out and take with my pawn because I can just win an entire knight. So I will do that. So, Coop, bro, I'm not sure if you're still here, but this is one of the times where I was considering, before they started pushing pawns, maybe castling long to enable me to push this way without fear of my king being weakened over here. Okay, so they've taken this pawn. I think maybe pushing was better because it restricted my bishop a little bit. All this does in turn is actually just allows me to get a nice, beautiful knight in the center of the board. It also prevents the knight from jumping to f5 too, because now I can just take it. Would I take their bishop? Probably not. I think this knight is worth more than their bishop because of the fact this doesn't have many squares. It can't go here. Yeah, I mean, I could just capture it if it did. Here as well, here is that as well. Okay, they have now blundered a pawn if I want to take one. And what I mean by that is I can go g5, and if they don't go back, sorry, if they don't come here, they're just losing it. So they're gonna, so g5, knight f5, and then bishop or knight f5. Which I believe it would be better to take with a knight, because after, sorry, with the bishop first. Bishop takes, pawn takes, win the pawn, and then I have the option to jump over here and win an exchange. They also don't have any checks here that can make that I have to worry about. So to be honest, I'm up a piece. What do I always say? May as well trade down. I think I'm just going to go g5 right now, because they have taken away one of the squares for their pieces. It's very hard for them to play. Other ideas I had could have been maybe like here, go for the double check. That would have been completely crushing. And in fact, maybe I just do it for the sake of it. Try to get some other mate. Because like if I had like queen c5, rook c1, check, double check by the way. So the king would have to move. They wouldn't be able to take my queen. King would have to go to h1. No, but this doesn't work. Never mind. Okay, so they're counterattacking and not realizing that the knight is actually just hanging. So after this, I can just move my horsey. And after this as well, if they push, I can just move the bishop. So I think they've not... Maybe they didn't see that the knight was hanging. I will just take this. Okay. Anywho, it is cookied like a goosey, bro. Queen b2 also makes some sense. Not something I will worry about here, though. Queen b2 actually makes sense here, but I'm not going to play it only because you suggested it. Even though, I mean, I don't think at this stage it's really backseating. I think I could be able to win this game anyway. I'm probably just going to play slowly, simply. I might just take... Actually, no. I think it would actually be a mistake to take this for two reasons. One, this bishop still doesn't have any squares. And two, this is getting rid of a beautiful knight for this pretty sucky bishop. I think best move is probably move this back. Another reason I wouldn't take is because after takes, maybe in some hypothetical world, if I forget about this and I move this bishop away, you know, because we all make blunders, they're going to go for this. Okay. This is still not a big threat, though. I can actually take this too, and then this will be guarded again. I should probably be castling, but I just don't see the need to yet. I don't have enough pieces clustered towards me. This knight is beautifully placed. Bishop is really not attacking much here. I might even just go rook g8 and attack this way. Maybe they didn't see that I can actually just attack, like, take this back. Queen coming in here does not work. I just take. Queen coming in here does not work. Queen coming in here does not work. There. I mean, this makes sense now. But I think rook g8 first, perhaps, because after this, they will not be able to get rid of my queen. I will go there. Here it makes sense to castle. I should probably just castle and not risk anything, so. I am going to simply either take this. If I have something nice, I'll only see rook g2, king g2. Queen check there. No, I don't think so. Okay. I could go there if I want to. I don't allow them to do anything. I'm going to do what I would recommend to people. I would... Yeah, I lost 2,000 elo. Sorry, buddy. Now my other account got banned. That's basically what happened. Now this is a slow run account. I'm doing a slow run for, which maybe I'll put on YouTube, but it's just going to be to 2,000 rapid and also probably to 2,000 blitz. So I'm in the middle of... This is the first one here. Grego, thank you for the raid, sir. Sorry, let me just quickly speed up on the rest of this. I will just castle long. I think some people might make the mistake of not castling here, and I think it would be a mistake not to castle here, just because this just eliminates any risk, in my opinion. Fine, they might have some ideas around here. Grego, bro, I hope you had an awesome stream. Hello, Ruby time. It's gone. I lost all my ratings. It's all cooked. It's all cooked. I'm actually just going to go here now, and now this is a threat. And if they go there with this, I probably will have something else in store. Actually, maybe I go here. No, I don't see any reason not to go queen b2. Sorry, queen b2 here. They cannot go like this. this Ruby. This is a speedrun account. Correct. This is going to be rapid speedrun till about 2000. And okay, unfortunately they did crumble here and they did miss that it's a checkmate in one, so I will just capture this one. This game was a little bit better tactically than some of the other games we've had so far, but we'll do a quick run through. I'm telling you, some of these 200, 300 ELO players are pretty strong for what their rating is. All right, they played E3, which is normal move, but when somebody plays something like E3, you got to ask yourself, is it okay to play something like D5 immediately? Why do you want to play D5? Well, because you're just controlling more of the center than they are. So you can see like still normal, and then after knight f3, knight f6, normal stuff. After bishop e2, so by the way, I've played this plenty as white. I have played this opening many, many times as white. It's not the most aggressive opening, which is why you can see after bishop e2, the eval drops from 0.1 for white just to basically zeros. Because it's not super aggressive and allows black to basically take some initiative. And even though I actually did not think this was the best move, I decided to kind of do what I think, once again, what I tell most people is, ideal at this rating is just don't blunder, develop your pieces, get castled, be safe, and then continue from there. So I just played this, even though I didn't really like this straight away, because I always like to reserve the right to be able to play c5, which maybe even there is the move. Yeah. Pretty much just also controlling more space, but I thought you don't have to know theory to play games, especially at 1,000 or below. Even at 2,000, honestly, but it gets more tricky. Here, once again, they made this move. It was a bit strange, and I started kind of coming up with the plan only because Coop was asking me before this game, when do you castle long? So I thought maybe this will end up as one of those games. But here I was just playing simple, just attacking this. I don't have to do anything weird because of this. I don't have to push this pawn, try to attack it. There's no reason to do this yet. This is very commonly what people do wrong, is they say, I see knight on the side of the board, attack. I probably could do this here. It's probably okay, but after this, now I have to think about it. Now this is kind of a bit loosey-goosey. Do I have to go here and defend this? Now I'm kind of can't castle this way if I don't want to. I could actually even allow this, but like, let's not get complicated. You know what I mean? I could do this. We're not playing against 2000s. Let's just play like I think is going to happen in the game. Just develop a very active bishop. And you can see already we're at move 5 and it's better for black. Their knight is chilling on the rim. It's not so bad always to have a knight on the rim depending on the situation, but here there's actually no reason that they did this, because after this they were probably worried about me pushing, but it's better for them to wait. So I think what they should have done is, like, let's just say, I don't know, let's just say they go e5, sorry, d4, and I push. Well, if they want to, they can jump here or they can go back. It's up to them then. But this is not the right place, because when they go here, especially after having not pushed the g pawn yet, they only really have this square afterwards. So then it is likely going to get stuck. Or to do that 2200 rappers. Hell yeah, you definitely got it, Gregor. I can't remember what your peak is, but for sure, bro. I'll definitely be interested to see that as well. What's my rapids? I think I'm only at 2200 right now on my main account. 2142. Oh, well, that's, yeah, if you can get to 2142, it's probably not super far off. You just need like one good day. 1 or 2 good days from that point. All right, I'm gonna, okay, wait, what was this? It was there, okay. Yeah, after bishop d6, so they moved the knight there. I think they were worried about me pushing, but it's not such a threat. And then once again, they played another move that's not challenging enough. Like d5, sorry, d4 once again is probably better. If I take, they take. And now it's normal. This is not immediately attackable. You can see if I took back like this, the eval is slightly okay again. Not ideal. I have to castle. They probably bring the rook e1 maybe. Fair enough, Grego. You probably need more sleep too, though, I feel like. I feel like we all need more sleep. All of the streamers. Yes. By the way, if they had gone there, I actually wouldn't have taken, but I would have actually likely pushed, because now this knight is actually stuck. It can't go there, and they have to probably go g3 to give themselves a square. Although it's just so weakening, unfortunately. Otherwise, I'd be threatening this and immediately winning a knight. Sorry, but this did not happen in the game. So same thing. This I did not think was the best move, but I'm trying to just say to people what I always say: just develop your pieces. You don't need to know all accurate theory. Just get some control. And visually, this looks nice. Like, I just have 4 pieces out. They have 1 on the side of the board, and they have these other pieces kind of just doing not much. You know, this bishop also doesn't have too many prospects at this stage. Here they developed a knight, and I thought, okay, normally maybe I'd push the pawn or something, like, yeah, one of these pawns, whatever. I figured I'm going to see if I get the chance to castle long just to show Coop when you might castle long, which is when you want to do like a pawn storm. So I went Queen C7 knowing, sorry, Queen E7 knowing it was very likely not a good move, but we're not all going to find the best moves in the game, but this should have been good enough. This once again was not ideal for them. I did like the attempt, but here it's a bit too late for them to try to strike in the center because it just gave me this. I could have also taken, but I just figured let me see what they do. They kind of have a habit of moving knights to the side of the board anyway. So I had a feeling they were not going to move back. I think this would have been best, to be honest. And just trying to come around this way. Maybe not even. It's already pretty sad position, unfortunately. I know the computer already says it's -1, but I think they have to play this pretty well. Howdy, Mo. After knight b5, yeah, I just decided. So here, I'm not sure I would normally give up the bishop if I was playing a stronger rated opponent, but I figured for the sake of potentially castling long for the example, I thought maybe we would get this and I would take this to solidify the center. That way after f4, I can just move the bishop and f5, or if they take, I take. And after this, I considered maybe this would happen. And then I'd be able to castle long, h6, g5. We didn't get any of that. So I actually attacked the knight, kind of same thing. Once again, I don't think this is the best move, but I was willing to go into it. They just moved the knight back. I went h6, threatening the g5. And then here after b4, free pawn. And unfortunately, they did crumble. So I just take the piece. Pretty simple here. Not too much to go into. I did kind of explain it pretty well in the game. There was one move around here. Level was wondering if it was a good move. I think it was around here, actually. He asked me, I think, if queen b2 was a move. I think, was it here or no? I think it was here. And in fact, it is a good move. Everything's winning here, I guess. But they do have this. So maybe later on it's a good move. I don't know if it was there or later on. Let me see. Yeah, so here this does blunder. So basically, my calculations, after they played this and I went g5, I calculated that they have to go here. And I would have taken with the bishop because it wins a pawn. And why would I have taken with the bishop but not the knight? Because if they do something random like this, I know it's attacking, but I would be winning in exchange with one of these guys. So after this, I take with one of these guys and then I just, defend. I just was like super, super winning, no problems. Yes, unfortunately, they didn't see that they had knight f5, I guess. They tried to counterattack, but I just take, and after they take, I just move the knight. This is a nice idea, but f7 is still guarded. Of course, I have to be careful of some threats, but this beautiful knight over here is preventing a lot of things. And I think they missed that it was defended. Fair enough. I just take back with the knight again. They push, just lining it up, of course. And here, there's just too many threats. I mean, just castle, like I was saying, don't need to do anything else. Just castle, get safe, and then from that point, continue my attack. But why risk anything? And yes, obviously here, queen b2. After queen b2, it's already super, super bad, but they either got to go, like, rook. I mean, it's so hard to play, bro. I mean, I'm threatening this and this, but don't know if I would have seen that, but I would have found something. It's just so hard to play. Queen b2 wasn't a free bishop earlier. You mean over here? Sorry, over... Where was it? It was over here, right? No, sorry. Here, you mean? So queen b2 wasn't a free bishop here, because after queen b2, they go rook e1. So it's not a free bishop. But everything's winning. I'm not sure if that was a position. I think it was. I think it was there. But, so what I'm trying to also advocate is, we don't always have to go for tactics when we're winning. What I like to tell people is, if you're already winning, just keep winning and don't do anything complicated that is going to cause you not to win. Of course, it's probably winning, but maybe you miscalculate and queen b2 and something happens and something comes from there. Just play simple. Attack a piece, they move the piece. I take the piece. I just drop back. It is on the losing opponent to find winning moves when I'm already winning. So I'm happy just to be simply winning. I don't need to be overly winning. But if they try to do something complicated to take the win back, they might lose even more. So I can wait for them to do something as opposed to trying to force a win when I'm already in a winning position. Yes, a big difference in elos, Mo. Correct. It's crazy, actually. Yes, here Queen B2 does make a lot of sense because it is just threading a mate in 1. Apparently it's a mate in 6. I don't know if I would have found the mate in 6, but it's just, I'm up 9 points of material, so I'm essentially up a queen. It's just 3 entire pieces, and structure's not ideal either. King's pretty stuck too. Like, there's so many ideas of getting a knight there, and anyway, obviously this, just taking all the space. Alright,